How's it going, guys, and welcome to another Creativerse tutorial video. Now here I'm going to be showing you how to make the ice rail system I'm using in my Let's Play world work in modern versions of Creativerse. Now, as was changed in like an update that came out after I made my world, ice now melts in warm biomes. So as you can see here, if I place down an ice block and we wait for a moment, sooner or later, it's going to disintegrate into ice, as you can see. This doesn't happen in my Let's Play world because it was made, I think, in R23 or 24, and the heat changes hadn't actually been made to the game yet, so it doesn't apply to my world. Someone suggested a potential solution of making it encased with ice 2 blocks thick, and apparently this would make it so it didn't melt. But this, I'm afraid, doesn't work either if we place it like this. And it seems to take slightly longer, so it does seem to have an effect. But, as you can see here, it does still melt. However, he was talking about jungle biomes, I think, so it might be that those biomes would be a little bit less warm. I'm testing it in a savanna here because I think, well, if it can survive a savanna biome, it can survive anything. That's kind of the idea. Now, here is how we get stuff working. Ice slopes don't melt. I haven't tested them on magma, but this guy here has been sitting around for like several Creativerse days, and he hasn't melted at all. So ice slopes seem to be completely immune from melting, at least to environmental heat. As I said again, I have not tested this on magma, so if you want to make ice rails that go through magma oceans, go ahead and try it. It would be cool if it worked, but I'm not entirely sure if it will. Anyway, so if you flip over the ice slope, then you can still get that same flat surface as you do from the blocks, and they're slippery on all sides, so it will actually work, ta-da, just the same as the blocks I use in my Let's Play world. So, if you want to make yourself a ice rail system, all you need are these ice slopes here. You can just leave them like this and, you know, build like your railway system around it. Or, you know, whatever design you want. And, if you want to go really, really quick, then there is an item called a fan. Be warned, guys, for this you're going to need some lumite. Now, I'll just get up, because for some reason it put me down at the bottom of my crafting menu. This guy right here is what we want. So, you get this by, I think it's either getting the diamond mining cell or crafting a teleporter that unlocks it. But yeah, you need some magnetite, some obsidian rods, and some lumite. So they are a little bit expensive. It costs 2 magnetite, 4 obsidian rods, and 2 lumite, but you get 2 each time you make one. And I found the best positioning is if you put them about 10 blocks away from each other. You can, in fact, travel right through one. So I am going to cut now, and we're going to go to my own world, where I'm going to show you the design that I use, just in case you're not familiar with my other YouTube series. And I'll show you what the design looks like when it's in action. Okay, guys, see you in a moment. Okay, guys, so here we are in my own world, and I've got my big old ice rail system here. So I've got the ice just lined up in 2 lines here, because I've got one for going that direction, the other for going back, because the fans only point kind of in one direction. So here's a fan block, as you can see here. And all you have to do is just walk into it, just like this. You can pass through them just fine. They don't have any collision at all. And you just get pushed forwards. I don't have to press anything right now. I'm just here, just sitting here, and it's just shooting me along at a pretty good speed. Because I've got this fence here, every now and then I'm going to bounce off it very slightly and move a little bit off the rail, but most of the time you can actually just travel right to the end like that without any problems whatsoever. So it's a really, really quick way of traveling if you want to both be able to move around quickly but still feel like you're moving down some kind of road rather than just teleporting everywhere. Because this is why I made the rail system, because I found teleporting to be a little bit boring. It kind of made me feel removed from the world, so I much preferred to have these big systems to get places. So yes, if you've been looking for a way to make a railway in Creativerse, this is one of 2 ways, and the other way uses fences, and I will probably do a tutorial on that too at some point. But this is the more expensive way, but I found it to be one of the most fun ways to do it. Of course, remember that you're going to need the ice slope blocks, not the standard ice blocks like I'm using here, because in the newer updates, certainly R31 and later, I don't know exactly what update it was added, you need the ice slopes because ice blocks will melt in a lot of biomes. Probably where I am now, in fact, it would melt. Certainly in jungle and savanna biomes. So it's a good idea to just use ice slopes wherever you are, just in case you're in a biome where they might melt. The good news is they're not a crafted block, so they don't really cost anything except an ice block to make. You literally just put ice into a processor and you can make 2 ice slopes for every ice block. So you are actually doubling your resources anyway. It's like half as expensive to make the rail with the ice slopes anyway, so absolutely do remember to do that. Beyond that, it's a really simple thing. The most expensive part of it is the fan, and in the end, once you've been to the corruption, these aren't too expensive anyway, because you can, like, you know, if I'm putting them at every 10 blocks here, and it costs a lumite for each one, then I can travel 100 blocks on 10 lumite. So that's really, in the end, it's not that expensive. Anyway, guys, I've been talking long enough here. You know the drill. I really, really hope you find this tutorial useful. I know some people have had a little bit of frustration trying to recreate my rail system in more recent versions of Creativerse because of the changes to heat, so I thought I'd make this tutorial to clear up the confusion for everyone. I hope you enjoy making your crazy railway systems, and I will see you next time. See you later, guys.